Hey kings and queens, we're back with another yummy and absolutely delicious recipe. Today we're doing Alkaline Electric Gumbo. Well, one of the ingredients is not electric, but I'll show you guys how to make your own sausage later on, so stay tuned. So the first thing we're going to do is make our vegan mock crab meat, lobster meat. So I'm going to just show you a little trick. So what you basically have to do is cut your trumpet mushroom in half, then use a fork and like shred it to make it that yummy, delicious crab meat. Oh my god. Look how amazing that is. So this is the exact method that we did with the pulled pork recipe. This method adds like a nice texture of gooey, gummy yumminess. So after I finish shredding the mushrooms, next I'm going to season it to add that fish-like flavor to it. So I'm going to add some kelp powder. I'm going to add some Annato for color. And then you can add some Dulce or some Nori, whatever sea vegetables you have, even sea moss powder can work. Add it to it and spice it up. After you finish seasoning, just put it aside and get frying. All right, so now we are going to lightly fry our sausage. So I'm going to put in about half a cup of grapeseed oil. You can use a lot less if you are very health conscious when it comes to the oil, or you can actually substitute this for sea moss gel. Same thing. So after we lightly fry our sausages, we are going to take it out of the oil and set it aside. So this recipe is going to be gluten-free. So I'm actually going to use the chickpea flour to make the roux. And to make the roux is basically equal parts oil as equal parts flour. So because we're putting half a cup of grapeseed oil, we're going to use half a cup of chickpea flour. So this is probably the most important step out of everything, all right? Stop what you're doing and pay attention, all right? Because if you ruin the roux, you ruin your day, all right? So you're slowly and gradually adding your chickpea flour to this, and you're whisking everything together. You don't want to take your eye off of this, all right? You just want to make sure it's nice and smooth. Make sure that the flour is not bumpy. This usually takes 4 to 5 minutes, depending on how good you are at this. I would suggest, if you're new at this, put it on low to medium heat. Do not put on high, because you don't want to burn your flour, all right? So when your roux is nicely cooked and it's a nice caramel, almost chocolate color, you're going to add in 1 onion, 2 Roma tomatoes, 1 scallion, and then you're going to whisk all that in together until the onions is translucent. Next up, you're going to add in your lobster meat, which is your AKA king trumpet mushrooms. Then you're going to add in your vegan sausages. Then you can add in some oyster mushrooms. I use half a pound of oyster mushrooms because that is my chicken replacement, and literally oyster mushrooms is life, all right? All right, now that everything is all nicely combined, we are actually going to add in half a cup of our Roma date sauce. I'm actually going to put the link below and how to make your own Roma date sauce. I want to make this video as concise and as quick as possible. So after you add your Roma date sauce, you're going to add in some lovely okra. Whatever other veggies you want to add, you can add some zucchini in there. I just use whatever I had on hand. I recommend using fresh okra, but all I could get my hands on was some frozen okra, so I made it work. So after you add in your 1 pound pack of okra, you're going to add in about 3 cups of spring water. And now is you're going to add in all your favorite spices. So we're going to add in a teaspoon of sea salt, 2 bay leaf, because bay leaf is a silent but amazing spice. You can add some thyme in there. I also added some Annato, some cayenne pepper. That's half a teaspoon of cayenne pepper. I just like that little extra spice. You can add a teaspoon of oregano, 2 teaspoons of onion powder, half a teaspoon of dill. All the exact ingredients is going to be in the description box, so don't be afraid if you're not able to write it down right away. Then you're going to mix all of that electric goodness together. Oh my god, just look at that. Look at that. Whew. You're going to let it cook on low to medium heat for the next 20 to 30 minutes, depending on how crunchy you like your veggies. I like mine's crunchy, so low to medium heat for 20 minutes worked perfectly fine. This meal is best paired with some white quinoa. I'll also put it in the description box how to cook quinoa as well. Whew. So after that 20 minutes is up, this is what the finished product looks like. So this is how I plate my gumbo. I first take a cup of quinoa, I place it in the center, and then I place the gumbo around it. And then you can top it with some dill, some scallions, and just go to town. Trust me, I couldn't tell the difference between this vegan, non-vegan gumbo. You guys have got to try this recipe. Thank you so much for sticking around with us. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and share this recipe with a friend who might need it. Peace.